So Bill Burr, he was at the UFC event the other day, and his wife was with him. Now, Bill, I'm sure he's been a UFC fan for a while, I think. He's, of course, a comedian. He's friends with Joe Rogan. Rogan's a commentator at the UFC, and he was like in the front row or close to the front at this UFC event. And apparently, Donald Trump decided to show up to this event. And of course, for those of you who don't know, Dana White, who's the head of the UFC, he absolutely loves Trump. And so I'm sure he's been trying to get him to go to a bunch of UFC events. But anyway, Trump shows up and he's walking out and the whole crowd is cheering. Apparently UFC crowds lean to the right. At least that's my perception from, what I heard from the crowd as he walked in. And so Bill Burr was there front row with his wife, and his wife decided, yeah, I'm not a fan of this guy. She gave him the double middle finger. And, somebody snapped a picture of it and posted it on social media and was very angry about it. And this is very disrespectful to the former president of the United States. It's the classic, like they had a meltdown over it and people were targeting Bill Burr and his wife. So anyway, he goes on this show here, the Rich Eisen show, and he's asked about it. And here's his reaction.
That's like those Trump guys. They're always going like, you snowflakes, F your feelings and all of that. And then you make fun of Trump. They're like, oh my God, it's so disrespectful. It's like you're saying F Joe Biden. It's like you can't have it both ways. So that's my thing as a Pats fan, okay? Yeah. It's just like if you're doing it too, quit your crying. Quit your crying. I mean,
How's your wife's hands doing these days?
Oh, they're fantastic. I love my wife. You know where you stand with her. Okay? The guy walked in the arena. Everybody cheered. She gave him the finger. Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great. Everybody expressed themselves. Can we all be adults? I mean, I don't know about you, but I came there to go to the fights. I didn't know I was going to the Republican National Convention.
True. Based and true. Look, it is funny, right? Because the Trump supporters and the right like to cloak themselves in this idea that we are the free speech people. We are free speech absolutists. And then, like, the second they hear something they don't like, they're like, you should fire that person. You should cancel them. I mean, we've been seeing this a lot with pro-Palestine commentary. The right's all about free speech until the free speech is like, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And then they're like, ban it. Please ban it. We saw this. Dave Rubin acted like he was the biggest supporter of free speech in the world. And then in the wake of the Israel-Gaza war, France decided to ban pro-Palestine protests. And he was out there celebrating it. You think you believe in free speech when you want to ban any and all pro-Palestine protests? What a disgusting hypocrite, man. This Elon Musk just the other day banned decolonization on Twitter and banned from the river to the sea. I thought all you guys were the free speech absolutists. I thought you were the free speech absolutists. And they're not. They're not. It's just that simple. You cross what their ideological perspective is. You break with their position, forget it. They want you canceled. They want you fired. They want consequences. And I'm sure Bill Burr, he strikes me as somebody who doesn't read social media, but maybe he got a hint or a whiff of all the people coming after him and his wife because of what she did. And he's defending her. Based. Yeah, like, you're going to a UFC fight. He wasn't expecting to go to the Republican National Convention, just like he says. So, I mean, look, I see nothing wrong with what she did. It's called freedom. That literally is free expression, But, of course, if Trump had his way, he'd probably, arrest this woman. I mean, they're talking about, guys, the free speech warriors are talking about invoking the Insurrection Act on day one if Trump wins again, to quell anti-Trump protests. Because remember, the Women's March in 2017 was some of the biggest protests in U.S. history. And of course, Trump didn't like the optics of being protested on day one of his administration. Now they're talking about maybe we'll use the Insurrection Act. So just, look, do me a favor. You could be a free speech warrior or not. You can't have it both ways. If you're going to act this snowflakey in these situations, then just don't ever wear that cloak of I'm the free speech people. Just be honest. Just say I'm for free speech when it's us, but when it's you, I'm against it. Right? Just drop the tap dance of these high-minded values you proclaim to have as your actions show the exact opposite. That's all we're asking. And I think that's perfectly reasonable. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.